Good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome to this online lecture series from IIMT group of colleges. This is Gourav Sharma from Computer Science of Engineering Department, Assistant Professor, and I am going to deliver an online lecture on Python data types, a hands-on approach. So, we will cover all the data types which are available in Python with hands-on session. So all the work or all the practical implementation I will do on Anaconda Navigator. So this Anaconda Navigator you can download. It's a free software and open source software. You can easily download, and it is having a variety of other IDEs like R language. Spider is also used for that particular data analytics, and we use Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook is one of the IDE which is run on web-based browsers or browsers. So let us launch this Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so here it is visible that this is the home page of Jupyter Notebook, and these are files running and clusters. So here we are again creating a new file, that is Python 3 file. So open that file, Python 3. And beside from this Jupyter, it is untitled 2. So change it to some other like Python data type. This lecture is for Python data types. So I am renaming the file Python data types. Python data types. Okay. So just renamed it Python data types. So whatever the programming we do or whatever the concept we learn here, that we will do in cell by cell, and all the codes we will write in that only. So firstly, we are discussing Python data types. Python data types, and that is markdown. So this is certain type of heading, Python data type. So there are certain cells. So cells are code cell, markdown cell, raw NBC, and headings. So by default, we are doing coding. That's why the code cell is by default selected. So let us implement one by one and observe one by one carefully data type. So first data type is integer data type. Okay. So in integer data type, again, this is a subheading. So integer data type, let us suppose, for example, a equals to 10. So whenever I want to write something like this, so there is a need to run this particular cell. So either you click on this run button, or there is a short key like shift enter. So as soon you enter with shift, so this will be executed. Okay, let us print the value for a. So whatever the value in a, that will be printed, it is 10. Okay, and let us print the type of a. So there is a type command which will print the type of a. So type of a is going to be integer. Okay, and you can also print inside the type of a. So this is printing that this a is of type class, integer class. Okay, there is one command also, that is id, which is used to give the address for this particular data, that is 10. So a, so id of a is what, like this. So means in memory the content 10 is available at this particular address. This is 140 and so like 360. So this is the id of this thing. So this is very genuine in nature. Say for example, if I again print b equals to, let us say 10, and again run it and print the value of b, or say id of b, not value, it is id of b. So what is the id of b? Id of b is again same. See, observe this carefully, it is 360 and 360. So what is the meaning of this? That in Python, one important concept is there, that data means variable does not take memory. Instead, the data will take memory. Okay, so here the value 10 takes memory, and it is stored on the address like 140 and so on so forth 3. So that's why we can say this integer or some other data type, basic data types like integer, float, string, all these are immutable data types. So there is a concept called immutability and mutability. So that is immutable data type. Immutable means we cannot change the value of a. Okay, let us suppose you are changing a to 20. So that doesn't mean that a holds 20. A is referring to a new location that is storing the value 20. Okay. So now if you print the id of a, so observe that it is different one. Previously the id of a is what, 360. Now the id of a is what, 680, because 20 is a different location, different content. Okay, so that is an important concept, that integer or some basic data types are immutable. Okay, so this is about integer data type, and there are also some certain subcategories also, like binary, binary, and also hexadecimal, decimal, and so on and so forth. Say for example, I am storing a equals to like 0b. 0b stands for binary, and I am storing like 0011. Okay, so let us suppose just execute this. So this is stored. Now if I want to print of a, so what will the value printed? 3, because the decimal equivalent to this binary 0011 is what, 3. So this is the decimal value printed. Okay, so similarly we can also store like a equals to octal number system, so it is 00, and let us suppose 726, and just execute it. And whenever you print the value of this particular b, so what will be the value printed? The value printed will be its equivalent decimal value. So what is the decimal value of this 726? The decimal value is 470. Okay, similarly hexadecimal kind of thing is also there. So these are the subtypes of integer data type. Okay, let us say c equals to 0x. So this is the suffix which we need to incorporate. 0x, let us say FACE, face. So FACE is in hexadecimal number system. So whenever you print the value of what, c, so you will get its decimal equivalent. So what is the decimal value corresponding to the face? So the decimal value is what, 64,206. Okay, so these are some certain subcategories or sub data types which comes under the category of integer data type. Okay, now let us move to a different one, that is float data type. One more thing which is very much evident, that here I directly write a equal to 10. So that's why Python here it is called dynamically typed language. Means there is no need to declare like integer a equals to 10. Okay, whatever value you will give to a variable, accordingly that variable takes the value. Suppose for example here I am giving like let us suppose a equals to 10.5. Okay, now there is no need to write float a equals to 10.5. Just print the type of a, or simply just type of a. Type of a. So the type of a will give you float. Okay, means this a belongs to float class, because why, the value here is what, 10.5. So 10.5 is a float value, and there is no need to explicitly define float a equals to 10.5. So that is the beauty of this Python language, that it is dynamically typed language. Okay, according to the data content, it automatically takes accordingly data type. Okay, so that is the float value, and it is very obvious. Nothing more to like this. Simple integer and float, these are two categories. Next category I will move to we can say it's a complex data type. Say for example a equals to, let us suppose 10 plus 10 plus 5j. So 10 plus 5j is here what, complex number. And b, complex number, you know, complex number is having a real part as well as the imaginary part. So b is again I am dictating here like minus 20 of minus 20 of minus 7j. Okay, so this, now I executed these two lines of codes, and now I want to know what is the type of a and what is the type of b. So let us print type of a. So type of a will give you what, complex. Or if either you want to print the type of a, so just write print type of a. So what will be the value? So the value is what, complex, means the a variable or a content of a belongs to complex class. Okay, so here let us do some more operations. Let us show c equals to a plus b. I want to add two complex numbers. So what will be the content if I print the value of a? So print c. So if I print the value of c, so the value printed by c is what, nothing but minus 10 minus 2j, means a real part, these real part 10 and minus 20 will be added, and imaginary part, that is 5 minus 7 will be added. So it is minus 10 minus 2. Okay, this is a very simple process, है ना? Now there are certain attributes related to this complex data type. So the attributes are real and imaginary. Suppose, for example, I want to know that the value of print a dot real. I want to print the real part of a. So what is the real part of a? Real part of a is 10, because the value stored in the a is 10. Real part is 10. So the value will be printed is what? Like 10.0. Okay. So 10.0 will be the real part. And if I want to print the value of a dot imaginary part, image, a dot image. So the value printed will be what? 5, because the imaginary part for a is what? It is 5. Okay. So there is another, this kind of data type is available, that is complex data type. So which is having a real part as well as an imaginary part, and we can also do certain operations like add two complex number, multiply two complex number, है ना? And like we can subtract two complex numbers and find out the real part of that imaginary number, है ना? Real part of that complex number, or otherwise imaginary part of that complex data type. Okay. So these are 3 data types which I covered. So integer data type, and here these are the data types which is integer, and here is what? Here it is what? It is float. So it is float. So this is the float data type, and after that, this is the complex data type. Complex data type. Complex. Okay, fine. This is complex data type. Okay. Now these 3 data types already covered. Now there is one interesting data type also that is already there in different languages, है like Java and some other languages are, it is supportable, and some different other languages also. Bool data type, that is Boolean data type. So the next category is Bool data type. So it is Boolean data type. Okay, so Boolean data type. So now let us see. Let us suppose a equals to true. A equals to true. So observe carefully, and it is the matter of concern that true and false values, always the first character is always a capital letter. That is, T is always in caps, and F is also in caps. Like A equals to true and B equals to what? False. Okay. So equals is missing. Just a moment. Equals is missing. Okay. A and B. Now, if I want to print the type of A, so just print the type of A, and let us suppose again here I am printing the type of B. So what are the values printed? So both are Bool type. A data type is also Boolean, B data type is also Boolean. Okay. So there are certain other uses where indirectly these Bool data type uses, like let us suppose, for example, C equals to 10 or greater than let us suppose 8. So 10 greater than 8 is what? 10 greater than it is true. So by default the C stores true. So if you want to print the value of P, print what? C and comma let us suppose type of C. So what will be the value printed? Value will be printed as what? True, and type is what? Bool. So see, observe carefully. This is the true value, and what is the class of the true value? It is Boolean. Okay. So these are Boolean data type, and which are not directly used. Maybe it is directly used somewhere, but indirectly these are used many places. Like whenever we are comparing multiple expressions or multiple values, some sort of relational operators and some sort of logical operators, then they are very much useful in those cases. Okay. So this is about Boolean data type. So we already covered integer, float, and Boolean data type, complex data type. Now one more data type is there, that is string data type. There is no we can say no character data type is available in Python. So all the things are string in Python. All the things are string. Okay. Now next is string. So string is a very popular data type and very useful, because everything whatever you enter in Python, so whatever you enter in Python, so all the entered thing will be considered as string in Python by default. So that's why it is very popular and very useful. Let us say, for example, a equals to double inverted comma. If I like IIMT, okay, IIMT, and let us suppose B also there, B also there, B also there, IIMT college. Okay, so these are the what data types by default. So these A stores string and B stores string. Now what are the possible things which we can observe here? Let us suppose type of A. So what you will get, it is a string, or otherwise you print here what it is, print type of A, so it belongs to class string, it belongs to class string type of A, so it is a string class variable, है ना? So similarly, if you again here we print what type of B, so it is again what, it is again string data type only. Okay, and if you print here print, let us suppose A comma and A comma B. Okay, so whatever the value printed, what, IIMT college. So means A value is IIMT and B value is what, college. Okay, so there are certain operations on a string which we can perform. So those operations are we can concatenate two strings with the use of plus operator, and we can replicate, or we can do string multiplication with an integer. So let us see that also. Let us suppose if I want to print of, let us suppose A and multiplied by, let us suppose 5, means A multiplied by 5. So what is the value stored in A? So A here is stored value is IIMT. So IIMT will be printed 5 times. So just see over here. So this IIMT, 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 and IIMT 5 times it is printed. Means replicating the same strings 5 times with the use of this multiplication operator. So this normal natural arithmetic operator, that is multiplication operator, here we are using for replicating the string. And similarly, we can also see that let us suppose C equals to, let us suppose here I am writing hey, and here I am writing, let us suppose plus, okay, and hey plus, and here I am writing what, A. Okay, so I am just adding A with hey, है? So what will be the value printed if I print the value C? So if I print the value C, so the value printed will be what, hey IIMT, like this. So that means this plus operator here we are using. So this is an important concept, that plus operator we are using, but both the operands are what, string only. But in case of multiplication, one must be string and another must be an integer variable. Then only it is possible. Okay. Okay. So there is one important concept also related to string, that we can access the content of a string. है ना? Let us suppose S is a string which is holding I am a student of IIMT. I am a student of IIMT. Okay, this is stored in S. Suppose you want to print these words or these alphabets one by one. So that you can access with the help of this. Let us suppose simply if I write what, S of 0, S of 0. So what will be the value printed? So the value printed will be nothing, because here it is a space. But if I write S of 1, so the value printed is I. Okay. Similarly, if I write here S of -1, this is an important concept which is not applicable in, which is not available in other languages. If I am writing S of -1, so see what will happen. It is again giving T, because if you observe carefully this entire string, so from left to right, by default indexing is from 0, 1, 2, 3, including all the spaces, 0, 1, 2, 3, and all. And if you come from reverse direction, so the reverse direction is also applicable in this case, but the indexing must be start from -1, -2, -3, Let us suppose here I print specifically, let us suppose s of -3. So let us see what will happen. S of -3 is again I. So it is -1, -2, -3. This I will be printed. This I. Okay. So this is an important concept which is available in what? String data type. You know? And one more thing that we can print here, like if I want to print s of let us suppose from first, or let us suppose colon till end, or till let us suppose 10. So first to 10 means 10 minus 1, 9. So first to 9, all letters will be printed. So first to 9, all letters will be printed. So here first to 9, all letters will be printed. Maximum value -1. Maximum value means 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. So see here. So space I, then space M, then space ST, like this. Now, or if you want to print, let us suppose, let us check what is the content of S. So S is having space, then I am a student of IIMT. I want to print all the values or all the contents one by one. So what is the other approach? I can use for loop for I in S. S is a string. So for I in S, I just want to print I. I means the content of S. So see what happened. So this is printing one by one. Space I, then space AM, then space, like this. All the contents are printed one by one. Okay. So that is the for loop which is available, and for loop is only applicable in Python with sequences. Sequences means first sequence we observed here is what? String data type. Okay. So we saw that this square bracket is applicable in string. That operator here is called as slicing operator. Okay. Slicing operator, because we can take any number of values in that. One more thing, just print S, and I want to print what? S from 0 or till length of S, with the space of 2. See what is going on. So whatever the length of S is, maybe it is 10, 20, and starting from 0 and skipping 2 elements at a time. So just skipping 1, then again 1, then again 1, like this. So this skipping is also allowed. So this is called a slicing operator. So these are the fundamental operators. Now some different kind of operators are also there, which are extensively used in different situations. Okay. So if you go for some practical situations or implementing some practical projects or some different analytics kind of things, then those data types are very much useful. So let us discuss those also. So let us suppose A is having certain values. Let us suppose 10, 20, 30, then 40, and then 50. So there are 5 values stored in A, and what I am trying to do, B equals to bytes of A. I just want to create the byte of A, means whatever the values in A, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, that I am converting to a byte type. Just execute it and print the what? Type of B. So what will be the type of B? So the type of B will be bytes data type. Here it is printing bytes data type. So it is very much evident that bytes data type. Okay. So just print that byte. So you can feel what is going on. Just print that byte. So it is class byte. Means byte is also a data type. Means what? Byte is also a data type, but you cannot take more than byte means obviously 1 byte means 256. So 256 means 0 to 255. So you cannot give a value which is greater than 255. Okay, you cannot give a value which is greater than 255. Let us suppose here I want to give, let us suppose 300. Let us suppose 300, and I'm just executing this and this. So this, see, this is giving error. Byte must be in the range 0 to 255, because 1 byte equal to 256, and what will be the range? 0 to 255, and you are giving a single value which is more than 255. That's why it is throwing an error saying that byte must be in the range of 0 to 256. So that is the beauty of this language, and this data type is specifically used. If you want to do some sort of processing on images and some other data types, then image is a collection of nothing but a collection of pixels. So a pixel may take maximum 1 byte, है ना? So 1 byte means 0 to 255 value, है ना? 0 to 256 value. So in those cases, we can use byte data types, bytes data type. But you cannot change the content of this byte data type. Let us remove this 300, then see what will happen. Again, it is giving beautiful what solutions or output. Now, let us suppose you want to change the content of this particular. Let us suppose you want to print a of 0. So, or let us suppose b of 0, not a of 0, it is b of 0. What will be the value printed? B of 0 is 10, because b is nothing but bytes of this element. But if you want to change the b of 0 to some different value, let us see what will happen. Let us suppose you want to change the value of b of 0, instead of 10 to 11. So you want to change the content of b of 0. So b of 0 is what? B of 0 is this 10, and you want to replace this with 11. So see what will happen. Byte object does not support item assignment. Means you cannot assign an item to byte object, because byte object by default, the nature of byte object is what? Immutable. You cannot change the content. That's why. So there is a need of different data type. So that data type is known as again byte array. Byte array. Just a moment. So I am giving you the flavor of byte array data type. So this is, I am talking about bytes. This is I talked about you bytes. And now the next is what? Bytes array. This is an error. Why? Because item assignment is not supported by this particular thing. So next is what? Byte array. Byte array. So byte array, let us check. A equals to, again the same case, A equals to 10, 20, 30, then 40, and then again next value what? 50. Now next what I am doing, changing it to byte array. B equals to byte array of what? Byte array of A. So means I am changing the A to byte array. Okay. Now see what will happen. This successfully executed, means no error. So it is converted to byte array. If you want to print the value of B of 0, let us suppose, so it will give you what? 10, again the same. It will give you 10. Now, what is the beauty of this byte array? That if you want to change the value itself or content to a different one, let us suppose B of 11, which was not permitted earlier in case of byte. So that is possible over here. That is possible. That is executed successfully, means no error. Now, if you print the B of 0, so the updated content will be given. Okay. So this is the case. And if you want to print for I in B, and what? Print of I. What will be the value printed? Like 11, 20, 30. So modified value, not the previous value, it is modified value. Means assignment is possible in byte. Okay, so this is a different data type. Now next important data type which is available, that is list data type. That is very, very popular data type and very much useful in practical situations. Okay, so list data type. List, what is the list? List is basically a collection of different things which we usually try to store in that. Means heterogeneous types we can store. See, observe here carefully. So inside a square bracket, I am storing like 10, comma, it is 20, comma, it is let us suppose 7.5, it is a float value. Let us suppose I am storing IIMT, it is a string. Let us suppose I am storing 10 minus 3j, it is a complex value. Okay, and let us suppose I am storing a value as false, it is a boolean value. So all these values are acceptable. So but you are supposed to enclose all the things in a square bracket. Now see this, no error. And if you will print the type of this particular A, then you will get that type of A is what? Type of A is list. So list data type. Okay, and a lot many operations are available in list data type. We are going to we are going through one by one. See, for example, if you want to print the content A of 0, so this will give you what? 10. If you want to print the content of, let us suppose, a of -1, again the negative indexing. Previously we already discussed. So this will give you what? False, because a of 0 is what? 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But reverse indexing, so reverse indexing, it is -1. So a of -1 is false. Again, if you print a of -2, so what will be the answer? A of -2. A of -2 will give you like 10 minus 3j. This complex value will be given as answer. So see this, 10 minus 3j. Okay, so these are the indexing. Now again, let us print a. So a is this, these values are in a, है and I want to just go through different certain operations also, which are already available. So for example, let us append something, or so we can append a dot, append. Append means we can add something to this existing. So let us suppose 100. So see, this 100 will be added. Now if you print what a, so the modified values will be printed. See, so it is 10, 27.5, IIMT, 10 minus 3j, false, and 100 will be added. Okay, let us suppose I want to remove 20. So it is quite obvious that a dot remove is a command. Remove is an attribute of list. So you can remove that particular value. Let us suppose you want to print, you want to delete 20. So just no error means successfully done. Now if you print the value of a, so you will get all the values except what? 20. Okay, so that means list is growable in nature. What is the meaning of growable? Growable means you can extend any value, or you can add content to the list, existing list, and you can what? Delete also with the use of append and remove command. Okay, so this is the beauty. And slicing is also applicable. Slicing means I want to just print a, let us suppose from 0 till how many elements are there in a? Okay, I don't know what are the elements in a, how many elements in this. So just I pass it in len. So len will give you number of elements. So what is the number of elements? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I just want to print from 0 till 6, and skipping 2 elements at a time. Let us suppose 0 is the starting, 6 is the ending, and what is the step value? Step value is 2. So let us see what will be the answer. So first value 0 will be skipped, 0 will be considered, then 1 will be skipped, then again means 7.5 skipped, then IIMT printed, then 10 minus 3j skipped, then false printed, then 100 skipped. So this is the beauty, that you can do it accordingly. So this is nothing but a list, and obviously for loop is also applicable. So for I in a, let us suppose print of I. So the value in I will be printed. So what are the value in I? One value from a will be taken and printed. So it is 10, it is 7.5, it is IIMT, it is 10 minus 3j, and so on and so forth till 100. All the values will be printed. Okay, and also we can change any value to a different value, and that is also possible. So let us suppose again a I am printing. So what is a? A is 10, 7.5, like this, so and so. I want to print this 10 to 100. Yeah, 10 to, let us suppose 10 to 20. So what is the procedure? Just a of 0. A of 0 stores 10. So just I am changing it to 20. That's all. Nothing. That's all. So if you print a, so that modified a will be printed 20. Means list is mutable in nature. What is the point here? List is mutable in nature. Means you can add any values, or you can modify, you can update the content of a list. Okay, that is very much applicable. Now similar data type is available. Similar data type is available. Similar data type is available. Another data type, which is tuple, which is similar to list, but it is what? It is immutable. What? Immutable means you cannot change the content. Let us see again the same thing. A equals to, but you have to give parenthesis instead of a square bracket. You have to give parenthesis. So parenthesis, the interpreter automatically understand that a is what? A is now a is not a list. It is a tuple. Okay, let us suppose 10, 20, let us suppose IIMT, comma, let us suppose 10 minus 3j, and comma, let us suppose true. Okay, these are the values stored in A. So all the operations are applicable. So if you print the type of A, so type of A, so type of A will be given as what? Type of A will be given as tuple, है ना? And if you want to print the content A of 0, so A of 0 is what? 10. But as soon you want to change the content of this A of 0, so what will happen over here? Just observe carefully. You want to print this A of 0 from 10 to 100. So see, the Python interpreter will throw an error. What? Tuple object does not support item assignment. Means you cannot assign any value to a tuple object. That's why tuple object does not support item assignment. I hope this is clear to you people. So this is the basic difference between list and tuple. So what is the basic difference between list and tuple? List is mutable in nature and tuple is what? Immutable in nature. Means you can modify the content of a list, whereas you cannot modify a content of a tuple. That is the basic difference. Okay. So this is tuple. Now next few more data types are there. 2, 3 are remaining. So I'm going to cover that also. So range data type is there. Range. So range data type is there. So let me make it marked down. Then it will become a heading. So range data type. So range is what? Range is means range. Let us suppose range of 10. So what will happen? Range of 10 matlab 0 to 10. All the values will be stored sequentially. Means 0 to less than 10 means 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the values. So range can also be used in different situations, like range of you want to give a starting value as 2. So 2 to 10. Let us suppose 2 to 10. So means 2 to 9, all values will be stored. Range of it is suppose range of 2 to 10. This is giving an error. Just a moment. Let me store in a different situation. So for example, for I in range of let us suppose 50. Let us suppose 15. Okay, and I want to print the value of I. This is again a sequence data type. Sequentially values will be stored. So see, it is printing from 0 till 15. 0 till 15. Okay, and that value is not printed. Why? Because let me show you what will be the error. So it is range of let us suppose 2 comma 10. 2 comma 10, not 2 colon 10. 2 comma 10. Okay, fine. So it is taking the starting value as 2 and ending value is 10 minus 1 means 9. So you can print. Let us suppose I want to print a certain value with a fixed interval of time or with a fixed values. So what I will do, let us suppose for I in range of let us suppose 100. Let us suppose 20 intervals. We need to print it 20 intervals. So what we need to do is start from 1 or start from 0 and comma what 100 till 100 and comma step value is what 20. So see what will happen. And I am printing here from for value I. So observe here, values printed are 0, 20, 40, 60 and 80. So less than 100. 100 is the maximum. So less than that. Less than that means 20 intervals is 0, 20, 40, 80 and 90. So this is the beauty of range, that we can generate a sequence of numbers with the use of range data type. And again, it is a sequence data type. Okay. Next data type is what? Set data type. So this is the second last or maybe third last data type. Set data type. So set, set is an unordered collection of objects where duplicates are not allowed. So there is one more point in list and tuple, that we can store duplicate values also. But in set we cannot store duplicate values. Let us suppose set s equals to, with curly brackets, you need to give a curly bracket. Let us suppose 10, 20, then again I am giving 10, then 40, then 50. Let us suppose I have given 5 values. Okay, and I want to know what will be the type of this particular variable. What will be the type of this variable? So type of this s. So type of this s is what? Set. It is from set class. Set, you know, in mathematics, set is a data type which is a collection of unordered elements, unordered objects. Now, if I want to print s, so see what will happen. If you are printing, let us suppose s, what will be the value printed? 40, 10, 20, 50. Whereas you given 10 two times, you have given 10 two times, but it is assuming that 10 is there only one time because it is a repeated element. That's why it is not taken. Okay, and you can also add a certain value to a set, like s dot, there is a add command. So s dot add, you want to add what? 80. So see this. Now if you print s, so what? 10, 20, 40, 50 and 80. And again, if you print what? S, so 10, 20 may not be in the same order. It may be a chance that they may be appear in a different order, because order does not preserve in set. Order does not maintain in a set. That's why. So means this these we can add, we can remove. If you want to remove, so again the same command, we can remove a certain value from set. Let us suppose I want to remove 20. So now print s, what will you get? 10, 40, 50 and 60. Okay, so this is the beauty, that you can add and remove. Okay, so one last thing which I want to give you, that set, one more thing, frozen set is also there. The same data type is there, but it is not means you cannot modify. It is immutable in nature. So that is set and frozen set. One last thing which I want to discuss, that is dictionary data type, which is very important. It will take a few minutes. Let me complete that also. So dictionary data type. Okay, so what is the dictionary? Dictionary is a key value paired. So D, and inside this particular bracket, let us suppose 10, and 10 here is for what? Let us suppose apple. 10 is here dictating what? Apple, and 20 here is dictating, let us suppose, mango. Okay, and last one is, let us suppose 30. 30 here is dictating as what? Let us suppose banana. Okay, so this is a key value pair. This is successfully executed. Now if you print the type of what? D, so what will be the print? So it is dict type. Dict type means dictionary type. Okay, so you want to print the value for a certain key. So let us suppose I want to print the value for this D of 20. So what will be the value of D of 20? D of 20 will be mango, because for 20th key the value is what? Mango. And if you want to change the 20th key to someone else, so you can modify also. So let us suppose D of 20. So you want to change it to, let us suppose, kiwi. Okay, so now see, if you print what? If you print D, the changes will reflect. 10 is apple, 20 is now become kiwi. Means you can modify, that is dictionary is mutable. And two different types, two different attributes are there. So D dot keys. D dot keys will give you all the keys in your dictionary. See, what are the keys? 10, 20 and 30. And D dot values will give you what? Values available in the dictionary. Okay, so that is all about the what? Available data types in Python, and hope you enjoyed this lecture. So thanks a lot.